Hey, Cap. Outstanding. These ought to be enough. Let's get back to Monarch. There's an old base I used to call home. I can get us in the door, but we'll have to shoot our way through the Queen's brood to get to the center. We'll set the bait there. Password to the door is Charon. Hayes' idea. Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, Nyoka. Charon. He said it was some old myth. Something about death and all the things we killed. Rest of us just thought it sounded cool, so here we are. Fucking right we are.
Stay safe out there.
Merci.
transmission. Receiving incoming transmission.
My back.
Whew. Here we go. I haven't set foot in here since...
All right. Let's see.
Making it look easy. Well, this is the spot. You know, I thought I'd be angry. I thought I'd storm in here in a rage and exterminate all these bugs and everything would be all right in the end. But I ain't. I'm mostly just empty. A little sad, maybe. The first night Hayes and I spent in here, we knew it was home. It's safe. It's got a nice chill to it. But mostly, it doesn't stink of sulfur. Monarch folks often joke about it. Not because of the smell or the grittiness it leaves in your throat. Not because of the headaches or the coughing. It's because there's no escaping it. It's life here, and there ain't anything you can do about it. But here, somehow the sulfur never made it. The nights we spent in here felt like vacations. So we started building. We hauled in steel, hired sublight folk to help. That's how we met Anders and Opal. They stuck around after our contract was up. Opal liked camping. Anders liked chasing her tail. 4 of us for a while, scraping together what bits we could to build our home. Then came Rebecca, a sawbones out of the Cascadia survivors, who took a kindness to Hayes. And Clara, her little sister. I'll admit I wasn't keen on taking her on at first, but for a teenager, she was surprisingly capable. More like attached at the hip to her older sister. Got a kind of strength between them, I suppose. She had a head for numbers, helped us trade hides for food and materials, negotiated contracts. Turned out to be mighty useful. Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, and me. 6 folks, 1 name, 1 family. Charon. Despite Monarch trying to kill us day in and day out, we managed to belong.
Heads up! job.
We still going after
I wish these were more auspicious circumstances, but at least we're all here. This bringing them together. That makes it stupid. By all accounts, we should have left well enough alone, but... Captain. You mind if we rest a spell before we head out? I'd like to...
Yeah. Alright. Next quest.
You know, Nyoka, between you and me, we know all there is to know about Monarch.
What makes you say that?
Well, you got your life experience as a hunter, and I've memorized every episode of Terror on Monarch.
Oh, Terror on Monarch's a riot. It's all made up, though. You know that, right?
Yeah, right. Next you're gonna tell me Halcyon and Helen weren't based on a real person.
I won't tell you that, no. You seem happier in your ignorance.
Good, you're back. Not that I missed you. I assure you, I am not capable of such emotional capacity. We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain.
Why can't I wear this yet?
I don't know who you are or why you're prowling around here, but I'm willing to make a guess. You're one of Harlow's gun hands, ain't you? He sent you after me. Yeah, of course he did. Thing is, you and I are at an impasse. Harlow wants me dead. How do I know that I can trust you? Yeah, guess that's a fair point. Listen, I don't know what lies Harlow's dripped down your ear, but you'd be a fool to trust him. I never betrayed Harlow. Harlow betrayed all of us. The board's got him in their pocket, been paying him off for years. All that palaver about revolutions? It's a lie.
You can't be serious. I've known the guy for years.
Yeah, that's about how I reacted when I found out. That's the whole truth. Harlow's just another board asset. A two-bit mercenary wearing a dissident's clothes. Yeah, I've got proof. There's always a paper trail when the board's involved. I chanced upon some correspondence between Harlow and his employer. I don't know that it makes a difference. What was I to do with that evidence? Bring it in front of the board? There's no authority in Halcyon willing to take Harlow to task. I hid my papers before Harlow chased me out. Back in the middle of the base, there's an old vent in a utility corridor. I stashed my evidence in that vent. Because he's for sale. Anything the board can buy, the board will buy, and that includes loyalty. With Harlow in their pocket, the board had an informant, a pirate, a smuggler, and a gang leader all rolled up into board-sanctioned piracy. Harlow went after the ships the board wanted destroyed, capturing anybody the board wanted captured. If we captured you, we'd ransom you. Harlow liked to do the job himself. Gather up the captives on his own ship, vanish for a couple of days. Only that's not what happened. Harlow's been selling his captives off to the board. I don't know where they ended up. Re-education, Tartarus, maybe worse. Take it you've made up your mind. You gonna tell Harlow I'm dead? May as well. I'm never going back to that life again. Here, take the ring. And for what it's worth, my gratitude.
Did you bring me anything? New parts? Last weekend's crossword puzzle? Preferably not already filled out this time.
Damn it. Ah.
What's the word? So it is. Thus ends Rufus Trask. I hope you never have to discover what it is like, Captain. The relief one feels when
And Trask had some things to say about you. And I've got my own misgivings.
That's a damning accusation. Those papers don't prove... Trask put you up to this. You've got a lot of nerve. How should I know? What?
Clyde, look me in the eye and tell me it's not true. Tell me, and I'll believe you.
Don't talk to me like I'm some... I don't know what kind...
Damn, Felix, you took him out.
We all in one piece?
Damn, you took him out by yourself. Now we have the whole base to worry about.
What the? Did I hear something?
Good stuff, boss!
Wrong move!
No mess, but the best!
Huh? What was that?
Look out!
Let
Get
up!
away from me!
Just getting started!
Oh, you guys are doing all the work.
This is definitely not how I imagined it'd end. The void's black, water's wet, and Clyde hated the board. That's something I just knew. Now? I don't know. I don't know what to think. I've just got a lot on my mind right now. This is a lot to take in. I always looked up to Clyde. The thought that he could be an agent of the board is just abhorrent to me. Yeah, he did. And I'm not sure how I'm gonna get over that. I hope so. I don't see this one passing anytime soon. You've given me a lot to think about. I'm gonna be mulling over the... I don't know what I believe anymore. Maybe it's better that way. Thanks for your time, Bo.
We're now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain. I'll lock up behind you.
Hold on there. I gotta sign you in. Don't think I've seen you around. That means you must be new to Stellar Bay. You are new here, right? Well, spit and sulfur. Mr. Sanjar keeps me posted at this landing pad, so I don't hardly know anything about what goes on in town. Still, you're here now, and that means I finally get to do this part. Okay, here goes. On behalf of Monarch Stellar Industries, welcome to Stellar Bay, home of the freshest sal tuna in Halcyon. Please state your name for the records. Swell. There's one for the logs. I'm even gonna give you your own entry code. I'm not supposed to do that. It's against procedure, but Mr. Sanjar isn't so strict about the rules here. Besides, I got a lot of empty entries to fill. Mr. Sanjar will be mighty pleased to meet you. If you see him over at headquarters, maybe you could tell him I did a bang-up job of welcoming you? Oh, and if you're headed that way, maybe you could... I got this Rizzo's Rangers tossball poster coming in on the next sublight shipment, signed by the Black Hole himself. Only I haven't heard anything in a while. You think you could check with Celia to see if it's come in? Thanks a bunch. Have you had time to check?
What are the chances of all the times and places we could have been born?
Yeah.
We're here, light years from Earth, going about our lives.
Every time the punch clock peels, a worker earns his meals.
Hey, Mr. Vicker, do you ever get a little bit homesick for Edgewater? For that ocean stink?
No, I do not.
You're supposed to say yes, to explain why. I just want to have a conversation.
Of course you do.
I had a question about your plan, Mr. Vicker.
Of course. The cosmos is generated and directed by the universal equation, also known as the Grand Plan. By contemplating the teleological order of things, one can achieve verity. Oh, right. You had a question?
Never mind. That about answers it.
Keep your wits about you. This is sublight territory.
I don't like the way folks are looking at me, Captain. Like I'm a sandwich. Maybe I could stand a little closer to you.
This is Reginald's stuff, all right, but it looks like he's not home. Scholars need to find ways to make ends meet in exile.
House with a strange family.
The ones that always smell like raw meat and got splotches of blood on them?
Yep. Oddest thing. They started ordering cans of Borstwurst, but only if they come from the C&P factory.
Makes you wonder what the secret ingredient is.
always imagined Fallbrook would be...
Cleaner? Fancier?
Oh gosh, this is so pretty.
Ugh.
What do you want? Oh, hey, Vicar Max. What are you doing on Monarch? I thought scienticians ain't welcome here.
Haven't you heard? Everyone's welcome here. It's a fucking worker's paradise. But you wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Never worked a day in your miserable life. You're just a parasite, living off my goodwill. Well, guess what? My goodwill's exhausted, along with my temper. This is the guy who told me about the book while we were in prison. I lied about finding a scholar. But I don't care about any of that anymore. I just want to inflict massive amounts of pain on this guy.
Wait! I know who can translate the book for you.
It's too late for that. I threw away my life chasing fairy tales. Will punishing you fix any of that? Of course not. But by law, it will make me feel a whole lot better. Forget it. This...
Wait, stop! Please, just listen to me. It was stolen from some sort of expert on philosophism. Weird hermit lady on Scylla. My father used to deliver supplies to the mining outpost there.
I don't think so. Fine. We've got...
Hey, I just want to thank you for saving my life. Exaggeration? Has the vicar told you what he did to Old Lem?
Look, what I may or may... Could I have a word with you, Captain? I want to thank you for talking some sense into me back there with Cheney. It has been a long time since I gave in to my violent enthusiasm. You're right. I owe you an apology. I've been so obsessed for so long, I couldn't see anything else. You offered me a place on your crew, friendship, and I used you to get to Cheney. And even then, you saved me from myself. I don't know if I could live with myself had I gone through with it. You owe me nothing, I know, but I'm begging your forgiveness. Thank you. I promise I'll be nothing but truthful from this point forward. Oh, exactly as you'd imagine. Can't say I enjoyed the stint. It did provide me with plenty of time to think. The way I see it, the universe was snapping me back to where I needed to be. You stray too far from the course of your destiny, the world will try to correct for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
My dad taught me some French, you know. Stuff about omelets and, fromage. I could take a look at that journal.
By all means. I would be astounded, yet astronomically in your debt.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing at all about eggs and cheese in here. sorry.
Very helpful. Thank you.
Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, producers and purveyors. What can I do for you? You know, sending you is the first bright idea I've seen from that man, because I told him to stop bothering me about it a week ago. I still don't know anything about it, but if you want to help him, Velma's the one to ask. But I'll warn you, Grimm wore her patience thin a long time ago.
Or is he not paying you on account of how he tried to fix the thing his own self and busted it even worse, and then said you wasn't fixing it fast enough, so he's docking your wages again? Not that I got any prior experience with such.
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pay. Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really. So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going.
I reckon she's got a little bit of a
He's sort of the strong side. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff. And some of the neighbors are complaining about the... Would you? Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly. I'd better get back. He doesn't talk much. Plus, he's got great legs. Sorry.
Sounds like raptors. Oh, it does work.
Look, you can tell Catherine the new shipment will be ready when it's ready, all right? She's welcome to come up here and pack boxes herself if she's in such a hurry. Well, if you're that friendly, I hope you can forgive my temper. This job has been running me ragged lately. First, my autoloader foreman stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatological health manager. Caleb Herrick runs the autoloader operators. He thinks I don't pay them enough for flipping switches and turning dials.
So the job's easy, but you're not doing it? Something's...
He and his whole crew walked out. Say they won't come back unless I pay them more. You mind slapping him around a little? I'm joking. If you can find a way to get him back to work, I'll make it worth your while. Check the yacht club. He's... This again? I swear, this is the last time I contract for any special requests. You can tell Grimm his poster came in. You can also tell him I got a better offer for it. So now it's going... That about cover it? It's staying locked up in my office until Nell... No. I paid Sublight for it. So it's mine. And when Nell pays me for it, it'll be hers. Grimm may have asked for the poster, but it's not his until I take his money. Sure can. I got a feeling you and Catherine would get on like tumors on a pig. Take the poster then. And if I never hear another word... Something else on you?
Have you had time to check on that poster yet? Would you look at that? I can't thank you enough. And you know what? Take my old tossball blocker.
New face, huh? A ship captain? Well, I'll be. Why don't you grab a chair?
By the smell, he's been reveling enough for you both already.
Sure thing. I never meant to call for anyone's head on a pike. Velma's not my favorite. Devil it all. Now you got... Tell Velma not to worry.
I'd give you a
Gosh, this old girl's in a rough way. Even old Bess and Ed...
Hey, you want to try running?
Sorry, ma'am. I wasn't trying to be rude. It's just, your flanging apparatus isn't making a strong
Oh, I see what you're saying. Huh. I'll have to... Anyway, what do you folks... You knocked any... Well, that's... Thanks for your help. Something else on your mind? Sublight boss out of Fallbrook.
Hello, stranger. Can I interest you in a raptidon tongue? Or maybe some canid tone? You look like a man... Oh, good. Celia... You look like a man... Huh. I haven't seen her in a few days, but I've been meaning to ask her how that raptidon acid is working out. I hope it's working okay, because no one else really seems interested in this stuff. Wait, I see what's going on. She put you up to this so she could get a discount, hmm?
Oh, no, that's not it at all. She's smitten with you. You smited her. Smote? Smoot?
Don't get me wrong. I'd like to give her a discount. She's a real fine lady. Always talks nice and slow, so I understand. But if I give her one, I won't hardly make a bit, on account of no one else having any use for raptidon tongues. You sound pretty sure. And she is awful nice.
Give her a chance. Give yourself a chance. Take her someplace nice.
Okay, I'll do it. Once her shift ends, we'll go someplace nice. Maybe to Chef Raymond's.
That's the spirit, Sebastian. Be yourself. Between you and me, Captain, I'm not sure Miss Celia knows him too well, but we can hope, right? I want them to be happy.
Have you talked to Sebastian yet? What did he say? Okay, but how did he say it? Did he sound excited? Or like he was just agreeing to it? Was he like, yay, a date was... Oh, I will. Now I've just got to figure out which jumpsuit I'm wearing and... look at me going on. I'm sure you've got other things to do, and Mr. Anyhow.
Aha, the helpful stranger. Clear my schedule. This newcomer... Celia, will you make a note of that for my self-review?
Noted.
But not so generous I can't drive a good bargain. Now, who sent you? Rizzo's, perhaps? Or Auntie Cleo herself? Oh, I suppose that means you aren't here for the... Oh, a shame. I'd been saving...
Seems like you're having a rough time, Mr. Sanjar. Are you doing quite all right?
Oh, don't worry on my account. This is merely the latest in a... I had hoped that livening up our ad... Thanks to the so-called Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions... Yes, freedom is a tempting ideal, but a rather costly paramour.
Exactly. Intellectualism fuels the train to mankind's future, but the tracks the train runs on are forged from practicality.
Mr. Vicar, I don't want to be rude, but I don't think that means anything.
Yes, it's as though the good vicar has plucked the very words from my brain.
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
But will that help the people here, Mr. Sanjar? Keep them fed and safe?
That's precisely what I'm trying to do.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended.
And a Mantisaur problem, and a Marauder problem.
Many, many problems, but they can all be solved with a Bolt 52 cartridge. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting with the Bolt 52, we won't need to advertise anymore.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
Oh, yes. I'm going to be up all night with this. All those blanks waiting to be filled, boxes waiting to be ticked.
Try to control yourself, sir.
Have you any idea how powerful this is? Corporations have been toppled with less. What a question! Bureaucratic micromanagement is the only way anything gets done. For our part, a bill of liquidation/transfer Form 52 will protect our holdings on Monarch by temporarily assigning them to a pass-through entity once we drop our bomb on the board. Sort of.
But really, whatever gets you excited.
I have reason to believe that one of the other corporations is operating on Monarch.
Is it really illegal if the board's the one that makes the...
If we can find proof, I can use that as leverage to encourage certain powers that be to... You really think so? I admit I've been hatching this scheme for quite some time. If someone is operating here, then Catherine's almost certainly supplying them out of Fallbrook. Perhaps she could be convinced to tell you where they are. Oh, I imagine you do. But as much as I love your can-do attitude and dangerous gravitas, Catherine handles all of our shipments. So it would be best if you could leave her in one piece. Is that... Once you, subtly work out where this corporate facility might be, bring back proof of its operation. I knew you... This has been my albatross. The great shame of my career. I give MSI everything. My work, my youth, my left kidney, and for years, I was a joke to them. One of the executives, I thought volunteering to donate might... Apparently not. In charge of a scrap heap of a city. Abandoned by the board and surviving only through the hypocrisy of our trading partners. I hadn't thought of it that way. Thank you for that. You think we're the problem? Have you even heard?
Unfortunately, it's hard to have not heard it around these parts.
It isn't easy keeping a town like Stellar Bay afloat, especially without the board's backing. We... Indeed. That's why it's imperative that MSI... If we can find proof that one of the companies on the board is also active on... You have my... Then it's good that I've asked myself the same thing many times. Not intentionally. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. Back then, it was known as Terra 1. Really? I always thought they were refreshingly straightforward names. After all, the whole...
Here, though, the results were...
And as the other corporations began... MSI's lead...
And how did that work out?
Most regard Monarch as a lost cause, but there were others of us... It's humane, but
I hope you'd treat them nice, whether it was good business or not.
Ms. Holcomb is our endlessly optimistic crew hand. It's good for the captain's morale.
A noble thought, Miss Holcomb. Unfortunately, noble thoughts rarely. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pull, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms. No, they laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2, along with everyone else. Yes, some of us stayed behind, and as the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of... I moved forward with our planned reform, yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless. I don't think I realized how everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules. I do think there's something useful in a government. Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure.
Without the board, chaos would overtake the system. Working within the established order isn't a principle to snub one's nose at, Captain.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation. Indeed. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with... Besides, I'm hopeful that addition... I've discovered it's much easier to negotiate from a position of power. And I don't mean to leave MSI or its people at a disadvantage. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows, perhaps... It's a legal provision that gives the board...
A necessary evil for the...
That's exact... Yes, making all of MSI criminals in the board's eyes. Rather hard to run a business that way. He and his followers call themselves the Iconoclasts.
I will admit.
Well, be careful what you wish for. Graham has a habit of ruining every... It isn't just that every radical act they commit, he's lucky the board doesn't take him seriously.
An Earth Directorate assault cruiser would change his tune. It's almost a shame we haven't seen one around Monarch in a long while.
What can I do for you? I see. And was his delivery... Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes... What else can I do for you?
always wanted to poke through a high-gain wireless. They only got one on Terra 2, you know, up in Byzantium.
I'm not out of breath. I just need a minute to clear the stitch in my side. Incoming!
Don't mess with us. Here we go.
We're destined to prevail.
That assist was a violation of corporate law if I ever saw one.
Awfully sen-
It's what I'm known for. Or, you haven't seen Constance, have you? Ah, there's her torso. And...
Oh, my law, he's right. I thought they had to...
Whoa, away from the boots if you don't mind. Killing marauders and hooligans, as I am handsomely paid to do. Of course, as me and Constance discovered, they ain't the only forms of life inhabiting these caverns. I owe you a debt for saving my... There's a station up the way. We can talk more there where it's...
Oops. No me this. Oh God, the load screen.
That assist?
Awfully sensible.
It's what I'm know. You haven't seen Constance.
Oh, oh my law, he's right. I thought they had to be cysty pig parts, or otherwise. Oh, I'm gonna be sick.
Whoa, away from the boots if you don't mind. It is. Gonna be a mess to haul back. Hazard of the job, I reckon. Killing marauders and hooligans, as I am handsomely paid to do. Of course, as me and Constance discovered, they ain't... There's a station up the... We can talk more... Hey, Mannequin Slayer. Let's meet my corporate compliance crew. Then check out our weapons locker inside. Then we call it even between us. Our client's a bit unorthodox, sure. Our current gig's to... Wow. We have an image to uphold. We'll just say you were a sub... A corporate mod... I lead the C3... Our system...
seen you limping a bit. You all right, Mr. Vicker? Need us to slow down?
What are you implying? I am perfectly fit. My knee is just acting up.
There's no shame in being older, Mr. Vicker. Don't worry. The captain and I'll take care of you.
I need neither your advice nor your pity, young lady.
It ain't right. How many good folk we gonna lose to our missions?
That's just the way of it. We gotta earn our keep out.
A mantiqueen.
Yeah. We felled it, mind. But...
A stranger comes to our home. If you're looking for a path to walk, you've found... Stop. No. I realize the board has blockaded our efforts, but Devil's Peak is an interplanet... Surely...
You are quite assured in the idea that any who hear your message will not immediately change stations upon realizing what utter rubbish it is.
Excuse me. I'm from Edgewater on Terra 2. If you'll pardon my saying, nobody I know's ever heard of you.
All the more reason to double down on our efforts.
Graham, we should be focusing on survival anyway. Food, ammo, and medicine. Maybe now's the time to pivot.
Pivot, huh? If radio isn't working, we might try another way. It seems the captain's timing is more than just serendipitous. It must be fate. I've had my sights on an old printing press for some time. The board uses magazines and advertisements to subtly focus the colony's attention. We will use their tricks against them.
Wait, that's not what I meant.
Help me clear out and repair the press, and I will have no need for that rust bucket of a radio tower. Wonderful. Speaking of which...
You bought rollers? You haven't even cleared the wraps out yet. What are you doing wasting bits on... Forget it. Huxley's still recovering. She won't be...
It seems we're out a runner. One of our sympathizers. Stellar Bay has caught on. She meets us in the ruins of... One of our... Wonder...
Unbelievable. I hope I don't have to tell you this, but if there is extra money, would you mind buying, I don't know, food and medicine? Graham, if you need me, I'll be in triage.